Alright, here we are with another review on the global version of FFBE. We have a non-effort banner, so I'm going to put as much effort into it as Gumi is. So, Jayden has a bad vision card, we already know that. Well, both of them do. Just not good enough for global. And he has some ability modifiers and things, but I have Jayden on JP and I never use these. Because ability modifier, like 200 times is not good enough. So, 85% attack magic break, I guess, is okay if you really care about that. AoE imbues, pretty decent, I suppose. Store buff, very good. 100 times mod buff. So actually, this is very powerful, even though it's only 100 times. Pretty good. And he also has 35% gun and peril and an ability. Killers, 8 times cap. Pretty decent. All these things here are pretty much worthless. Not sure why he has them, but they're there. And then they changed the leader skill from just light to FB War the Vision, and then they coped and put some people in there that normally weren't in there. But I mean, no one cares about this. I mean, no one's gonna be running this leader skill, especially since it's only 500%, not 750 at least. So the max mod is 430 times, right? With a store buff, so it's pretty decent, but not obviously not top tier or anything. And only 30% gun imperil on his SLB, which is very sad. 25% on his normal LB. All right, so you can kind of get the picture here. He has 8 times cap. He has some strong moves. He has 150% amp, but only if you go to EX2. So very expensive banner to pull on. Very hard to pity, and you shouldn't pull for this guy. It's a boring World of Visions banner. They barely put any effort into it. No tempting vision cards, nothing like that. So why should you even waste your time pulling for Jayden? I did pull from on the JP version, but that was a mistake. He's already falling off. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give him like a 7 because he'll do some damage, but I mean he's not even like in the top echelon of dark vision bursters. And his leader skill is just okay. The only way you would ever want to run him is if you want to run a light magic team. His Squall leads, he's a physical DPS, so that's the only reason why you would ever want to do that, pretty much. And then we have Glaciela, who's interesting, right? At least for her, she has 150% amp with no restrictions. And she also has an increased damage for water, so even after you rotate for the wind, you can still do some water damage. Just have water imbue, so it's decent, I suppose. 100 times modifier, and not much else to say. There's not much else to say besides that. 35% fear and peril, fine. No leader skill. Well, we already knew that, right? But non-elemental, so even after she bursts for the wind, which is her strongest, she can still do a smaller burst of water. So if you ever fight something that's weak to water and wind, she'll probably be best for that. Because she's one of the only units that actually has another burst potential. By herself. Of course, other units can give 100% amp to one ally, but she has it herself. That's really it. There's not much else to say. She's a TDH unit. She's a TDH finisher with 2 bursts, one stronger than the other. That's about it. So I'm gonna give her a 7 as well, just average. And then Gilgamesh is a complete disappointment. Unfortunately, they barely gave him anything. If I remember correctly, yeah, it's just nothing, not much here. And they stuck with the hybrid stuff, which is perfectly fine, but they gotta make it really strong. And they really didn't. They gave him some killers, but 24. I mean, at least he has 24 hits for you guys if you need to use that, but just not good enough. Only 25% sword and peril. He has a Neo Vision Awakening after all, but I was always disappointed when I came to the JP version when he came out. So yeah, he's just not. He's worth it if you already have a whole bunch of him, and you just need some box space. But isn't that kind of what all Neo Visions are kind of nowadays? I mean, gone are the days of the Golbez era where, you know, he was good as a Neo Vision Awakening. There really aren't very many of those left. There's Axstar. If you ever heard from the grapevine, the Diva Axstar, whatever his global name is actually quite good. But only because it's like, I feel like it's like unintentional. Like they didn't know that one of his abilities could have been, you know, multicasted. But other than him, there aren't very many Neo Vision Awakenings that are really that great, because all of them, they basically just turn all of them into DPS. Like even if they're a support, like Regis, the most recent Neo Vision Awakening Regis was a support, and he had some chaining on the side if you really wanted to use it, but it wasn't really that important, and they just made him a DPS. So they don't really know how to make units that are, you know, following in line with their, you know, structure of what they were built for originally. You just throw DPS on them and call it a day. Is that where we're headed? Hopefully not, but it is what it is. Alright, so Gilgamesh, I'll give him like a 6. Maybe he'll be better on global because maybe there's some hybrid equipment or something, but I mean, even then, it's not really anything. He doesn't have any store buffs either, I believe. Maybe he does. Nope. So he doesn't have any store buffs either, so you'd have to use Dark Reign's TMR even. From people that are new, like, oh, it's 500 times, and you put this on it 600 times, but it's hybrid, so it's actually 300 and 300 actually in total. So it is what it is. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Stay away from this banner, it's expensive, and you should just save. This is the save week. Because there's a lot of stuff you guys probably pulled on. I have no Lapis either, so I mean, I don't care about this banner though. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.